Ahoy and welcome. I am the Pirate Tester, and today I'm fortunate enough to be with Jem Hill. Hello, Jem.
Hello.
So, in these series of rackets, I am interviewing mainly people I know and just getting to know. Jem, I've known for several years. Shall we go with that?
Years. Yeah.
But they're not here to listen to me. We're here to find out more about you. So, Jem, what do you do, and how did you get to where you are?
So I am currently a senior tester at the BBC, which mostly means like helping out with testing, but also doing more like strategic team level things, like talking to the rest of the team around testing and figuring out how we can make the quality and testing better and easier and all that jazz. And also like interacting with other teams within the department and learning from them and sharing stuff around, all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of communication as much as it is hands-on testing of things. How did I get into testing? I, like most people I know in testing, I kind of fell into it. So I worked, it's just the way of it. I worked as a pharmacy dispenser for a while after uni, and it was getting to the point where I couldn't stand on my feet for 8 hours a day any longer. Like physically, that wasn't a thing for me. So I knew I kind of enjoyed helping people, and I thought about getting into tech because that seemed like a part of the time I was in tech. It seemed like a good thing to kind of get into. So I started as a digital support assistant, which is a fancy name for technical help. I was the person who answered the phone and told people that they needed to update their browsers and all that kind of jazz. And then the tester at the time, who's still a friend of mine, I know them quite well, they were the sole tester in this agency because it was a web agency, so we were making websites for various people. They had a lot of work to do. They were basically kind of doing release management and stuff as well. So I only really doing support was like, well, I've got free time around. I can pick some stuff up. Did it, realized I enjoyed it, did some Googling, found Ministry of Test, realized it was a job, a career, and then made some concerted efforts to learn more and get involved in the community, and now I am here.
Yeah. And the community is very, pleased to have you and all the better for it.
Oh, thank you. I'm very, this community, the testing community is one of the friendliest communities I've ever been in.
Yeah, I know on Twitter and stuff, I see some stuff talking about things like the InfoSec one and how it's a mixed bag would be a polite way to talk about it, for example.
Mm-hmm. A couple of people that we both know, the InfoSec community they've done talks and stuff at testing conferences, and they were like, testers are all so friendly, oh my gosh. But yeah, we'll talk to anyone.
See, that's where I'd be worried to be like, why aren't the rest of them like, why don't they want to talk? It's good to share knowledge and get to know people, it's helpful. Why would they not?
Yeah, and it's just nice.
Speaking of community stuff, it's not just testing that you do, is it, Jem? That's my very leading question.
I appreciate it. No, I do a lot of stuff around mental health and well-being because, the tech industry in general is getting better at dealing with that stuff, but it hasn't always been, and it's something that it affects me, and I like talking about it and doing stuff, so I've done a lot of talks, and I have a company that I launched just before UK lockdown last year because that seemed like a good idea. Like providing resources and products and stuff all to do with mental health and self-care and looking after yourself in that way.
And if they want to find out more about your company, where do they need to go?
They can hop over to selfcarebackpack.com and they'll find all the details, where to find me on social media, where to contact me. It is just me, so if you email them, you're emailing me.
Yeah, it's not some myriad, global monstrosity with all sorts of companies and so forth. It's you.
Yeah, no secretary, just me.
But conversely, it means they get the personal touch, and if they have questions, it's not going through a network of people and getting lost in handovers. It is straight to the source, as it were.
No, exactly. I mean, that's why I say it, because I direct people to like the company's social media, and it's like, it's still me. You're still just talking to me. It's not anyone else. So you can contact me there and you will get to me just as much as you would if you would contact me on personal Twitter or whatever.
So if someone was wanting to get involved with testing in some way, or they just started and a bit of, because as you said, there's a lot goes on, but people often don't know that either we exist or like how much of us there are in the community and so forth. What would you encourage people to do or find?
I think it depends on what sphere they're in and kind of where they're at. I mean, like on any social media platform that you're on, pretty much you can find some testing communities. Like there's some testing people and community stuff on Instagram and Twitter and LinkedIn, and I'm sure they exist on other ones. I mean, Racket is full of testers, just fit to bursting with us.
It does feel that Racket is built by testers and no one else.
And go from there.
And if you had to give advice to your earlier self about testing, like if there was anything you would change, is there anything you would change about your testing journey?
I don't think so. I think that I won't say it feels like I got quite lucky finding ministry testing and finding like the Slack and all the amazing stuff around there, because it is such a warm, welcoming community. It doesn't matter what branch of testing you're in or whatever, you'll find people there that you can connect to and stuff. So no, I don't think so. I think going back, I'd still happily do the same thing as unstructured and kind of random as it was. I kind of stumbled into the right path.
And that's the thing, like, there's always, like, whenever people have said, like, would you change things, I'll be like, but I've ended up in a good place. Like, the journey might have been difficult, but I might not be in as good a place if I did change things. It's all like butterfly effects, really, isn't it? Like, if I changed too much, would I be worse?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, what you said, entirely, I agree with.
So we're in our final minute. Is there anything you would like to say or share with people? Anything like that in our last bit of time?
Bit of advertising. This week I launched a guide to journaling at Self-Care Backpack. If you're interested in journaling, check that out. There are videos and stuff explaining everything. So please go check that out because I'm really proud of it. And just if you're interested in joining testing, just find some testers and speak to them, because we're all really friendly and love talking about testing. We'll rip your hand off to talk about testing at you.
We really will. Wonderful. This has been a lovely chat, Jem. I hope everyone enjoys our chat as well. And thanks for spending time with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.